LittleBigPodcast. This is episode 126.
That's right. I'm Austin.
I'm Daniel.
And we're going to kick things off like normal with our art, and then we have some levels for you guys, and then we have loads of news, so buckle up. Here we go. First up, 8-Bit Sprite by Moltech R&B.
Alright, now just looking at this, you'd be like, what? That has nothing to do with Little Big Planet. Well, this guy is making a level series, 8-bit level series, with this guy as the main character.
So he shot us over an image of that just to showcase as fan art, so that we did. Next up, Kimia sent us Sackboy with our logo, and this is really cool because it was obviously freehand. It looks great. The colors are perfect, and anyway, I just thought it looked really awesome. So
props.
Very good job. Next up, we have an LBP2 painting by Kyle, and this looked exactly like, I don't know, it just looked, you can tell that there was the canvas, and it was just, I don't know, it was really good. And it was a little abstract, but I really liked it.
Alright, next up we have a Team Fortress 2 costume by Jibberwocky22.
Yeah, this was really awesome. I mean, like, you don't think Team Fortress looks like it would work in Little Big Planet 2, but when you see this concept art, it's like, whoa, I could actually see that as happening. So, yeah, it was just kind of really cool to see someone actually throwing that out there and visually seeing it, because then, like, and it
we'll
just
talk more about that later.
Yeah.
So
okay, and then we have MM by JK, and I don't know why I wrote it down like that, but I did, because this was a really awesome art piece. It kind of threw together a little bit of everything that he's done over the past few weeks for us, our little couch, and then a bunch of other stuff, and threw in the MM logo and kind of stylized it with their pink color, so it looks very awesome.
Legit.
Good job on that. Then we have a Sackboy playing card by the Penguin Attacker. Now this was absolutely brilliant.
It's like a playing card, right?
Yeah.
And then Sackboy has a crown.
It's just,
so then he flipped it to make it look like
it's hilariously brilliant.
Perfect.
Like I never would have thought of doing that. But honestly, if someone actually no, I was about to say, if someone wants to get rich, go out and make Little Big Planet playing cards. But that would probably be extremely illegal, so forget I said anything about that. Moving on, we have Mount Rushmore modification, and that's what I decided to call it, by Dodgy Viper 2. Now,
this is like the reason that we have people send in art, because it's hilarious. They photoshopped our faces onto Mount Rushmore, and
it's brilliant. It looks
perfect.
Awesome, and maybe we're gonna have to do that. Like get one of you guys who's extremely talented with actually like modeling, and then we can just throw you guys some ropes and a couple of chisels and let you chisel away at our faces up there. So
that'd be cool.
Might not be too hard. I don't know.
It might be a little illegal to tamper with national monuments.
We'll just go find a big rock face.
Yeah, we'll do it in Dover.
Get you guys just to start brand new. Dover Cliffs.
That would also
be extremely illegal. But anyway, moving on, we have the Move Pack by DB Boy. Now, this was a poster that he created for the Move Pack, and it kind of shows Sackboy flying there with the Move controller in his hand. And then along the side, it showcases all of the different tools that you can use in the Move Pack. And it was very cool, very original. Obviously, there are no images of that out yet, so he had to kind of create all the sensors himself, which was actually a pretty big task.
Yeah.
So it looks very cool.
All right, next up we have Sackboy Doodle by Sir Starblaze.
It's actually Sackbot.
Sackbot Doodle. They look the same when you read them. They both have like
it's just
a line, then an intersecting line. So
it was very cool. Definitely freehand with pencil, and it looked incredible to me. Definitely very awesome and better than I could have ever done, even in my dreams. Okay, so our second to last piece is a Little Big Podcast banner, and this was done by the Mad Pie Kid.
All right, now this was like, Sackboy sitting on a planet, and it said, what was the inspiring word that it said?
I don't know. It was like imagination or
like
something inspiring
that you could whisper
like that.
and sell like soundtracks of, like imagination, motivation,
all those
synergy.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Okay, so it was pretty awesome and definitely very cool. And then our final Photoshop piece is something that we forgot to feature. And so we're doing a solid and finally featuring it. And it's World of Sackcraft by Ollie. And obviously, as the name implies, he photoshopped Sackboy's head onto one of the World of Warcraft characters, which is pretty cool. I'm not a World of Warcraft player myself, but for those of you who are, maybe this will interest you. It interests me, but like I don't
maybe
relate
you'll be
to
like,
it. I only relate to half of it.
Photoshop.
Yeah, if you can get ahead of me there. Anyway, moving on to levels. Sorry, that was a terrible pun. I was trying to throw a head in there somewhere, but anyway, our first level is Peril Comes in Many Sizes by SPF Lanagon.
All right, now this was like a direct excerpt from excerpt. excerpt from the story mode. It was perfect. They took Avalonia's theme and they made the missing story levels, and it was so perfect.
And it is set in huge spaceship. And after you fix it and you're flying along, the engines seem to be having trouble. So you have to work your way down to the engine room through the spaceship. And once you get to the engine room, you discover that the meanies have invaded. Anyway, that's in the second level. We're showcasing the first level. And there are going to be 4 levels. Only the first 2 are done. So go play the first one and the second one, and then heart the creator so you can be notified when the second and fourth. Wow,
third
that's
and fourth
awful counting. Third and fourth go up. Yeah, so definitely go check this out. Incredible level, definitely deserves an MM pick. And at the time that we played it only had about 600 plays. So for as awesome as it is, it's extremely undiscovered. So definitely go check that out. Our second level is Star Wars A New Hope, Chapter 2, etc. by Julesy Jules.
Alright, now this level, it was amazing. It perfectly represented what a Star Wars DLC kit would look like.
Pretty much, yeah.
Perfectly. The only thing that they were missing was I really wanted all those costumes. They were so awesome.
These are the best Star Wars costumes that I've seen in Little Big Planet.
Perfect.
I mean, they're just done right. Especially the Han Solo costume I thought was the best.
They pulled it off.
That was very awesome. But I mean, just everything, just the creativity of even just finding the pieces to make those costumes.
Right.
I mean, obviously loads of people do this. I'm not just saying this is the only person that ever does this ever, but just the creativity it takes to like look at a piece from like a Sonic pack and think, that would make really good hair for,
Chewbacca.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just stuff like that that's really awesome. And then the fact that it looks really legit once you actually have it all pieced together. So very good job on the costumes there. The gameplay was awesome. Loads of good gameplay mechanics. The visuals were stunning, looked exactly like the movie, and it was just, it's funny too, because not only does it follow the plot of the movie somewhat, but it also kind of throws in some humor, and it's perfect. It's an awesome level series that definitely deserves to be picked. And then going back to what you were saying earlier, once again, this is just like seeing it, and then it's just like it clicks like, dude, this could happen as a official
should happen actually.
Yeah. So very cool, definitely enjoyed that. And they make lots of Star Wars levels, so if this one really sets you off and you love it, definitely go check out their other levels. They have tons even in Little Big Planet 1, so this has been going on for quite a while now.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. So
alright, third level is Skytown Tower Defense by Red Drone.
Alright, now the way I found this level, I usually don't find levels that we feature like this, but I actually went to Lucky Dip and picked a level that was one of the first ones up there. Had 70 plays when I found it, so very undiscovered, but a really, really quality level. It's tower defense. I mean, that's pretty typical for tower defense, but the way they pulled it off was just perfect. Like the meanie people would come down this little road and they'd have to get to this certain location, and you'd have to set up these towers everywhere to destroy them, and it was perfect. They nailed it. I mean, it was the perfect tower defense level.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was very cool. It was one of the first levels that I've seen really make use of the kind of like a points inventory system, where like you get points for killing off the baddies, and then you get the points spent.
Use towers.
Yeah, so that's very cool. I like that system.
Yeah.
Okay, so hope you enjoyed those levels. We're actually going to be divulging some stuff in the news about community levels. See if you can figure out what that will be. And first up, I guess we have some job openings. Media Molecule is hiring. They need a graphics programmer, and they need an artist and an artist and a regular programmer.
Right.
So anyway, go to MediaMolecule.com/jobs if you can do both, or if you're one or the other. They are interested in hiring you, so go check that out. Also, Tarsier Studios, which makes Little Big Planet Vita, is looking for Vita level designers.
Yes.
So if you're a level designer,
Tarsier,
consider applying.
Media Molecule, they're both hiring. They're both making new content, as we know. So
yeah,
go check it out.
All right, and then our Tron pack is now out in Europe for $2.99 in
Looks
euros.
Amazing.
It's been out in America, I think, for a while now, and
Tuesday,
so it's finally out in Europe. And it looks brilliant. Great pack. The movie's awesome. I highly recommend it if you have not seen it.
The movie's great.
We'll probably start a huge debate here about the aspect ratio changing stuff. Like, I didn't like it because of that, but you know what?
Like the 16:9, and then
we're not going to get into that discussion.
What was the movie crop that they used on that? It was, don't remember, but it was one of those movie crops, and it switched. It was okay.
It didn't bother me.
No,
I didn't
really
notice
didn't,
until someone pointed out, and I was like, oh, I guess it kind of does do that.
Yeah,
but
it changes.
Anyway.
All right, the scoreboards are being rolled back to June 1st, and that's because people figured out a way to max out the scoreboards on every single level.
Yeah.
So they're all corrupted scoreboard leaders, and that's no fun for anybody.
Right, so the glitch is being fixed, and then everything else, the scores are being taken down and rolled back to June 1st. So don't go trying to set any high scores between now and when they get rolled
don't
back.
go chain tower whoop all the way, because it won't count.
Yeah,
and that would
unfortunately. So anyway, just take pictures, or else it didn't happen. So everyone hates to admit that they were wrong about stuff, and
but we were.
Yeah, we were wrong last week about several things about the move pack, and so we'd like to come back and get all those details straight. So we have an extensive list here of everything, just to set down in stone. This is what's coming in the move pack. So first up, the brain crane, which we mentioned last week, is not incorrect what we said, but it's also called the manipulator, and it's a hat, once again, that you wear as a power-up that allows you to move stuff, move objects around.
Right.
Move objects around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, move. With this. See, did you see how I just, like, pulled that out? That's a magic trick right there. Yeah. I definitely didn't have it sitting on the desk behind him all this time. But anyway, yeah, use this move controller. You're going to be able to pick up objects and kind of move them around in the game. And that's how you're going to be able to do it once Sackboy has that power-up on. Then you're going to have the Movinator, which is like the Controlinator. Stop miming. So you're going to have the Movinator, which is basically the Controlinator for the move. And you're going to be able to use it to pull up a big thing. And you're going to have access to all the different magnets and gyroscopes and all the goodness that's crammed into that little device. So you're going to be able to move stuff around like that. Also, there's going to be move cursor customization. You're going to have a move cursor, obviously, to figure out where you're pointing on screen. And then you're going to be able to assign a certain sticker or your own custom design to that cursor, which is pretty awesome. So if you want to make like a shooter and you want this huge like crosshair up there, that's how you do it.
You know what would be cool to use like the move shooter, you know, the sharpshooter attachment?
I mean, you always could, so.
Why not?
And then there's going to be a move paint mode, which we also mentioned. You're going to be able to paint with the move controller, save that as a sticker, export in high res to the XMB, or produce a cutout, as we said kind of last week. If you're familiar with that type of stuff, yeah. So then there's going to be the move recorder, which is a puppet tool, and it's basically going to work like an advanced mover, only you control it. Instead of like controlling, I guess, motion like that, you just take your move controller and you move it all like around. And that records things. Yeah. So if you want something to move around in a circle like that, it's as easy as puppeting it with the move tool instead of trying to figure that out with movers. So it's a lot easier. Then they're going to be speed, angle, and rotation sensors, which is huge. So if you want someone to have to crank up a wheel, and then once you get to a certain speed, moving your move controller around, then that'll activate a sensor, or just obviously hold your controller at a certain angle. And I can already see this happening, because I remember the level with the analog sticks where you had to rotate them up to the certain position. I can see people doing that with the move, where you have to like do like different orientation puzzles. So definitely very cool. Then there's going to be a sticker panel material, which we already discussed last week, a different layer specifically for stickers, and it'll be a separate layer, won't interact with anything else, and it'll be more of like a holograph type thing. But instead of like being all fuzzy, it'll be just a sticker floating in midair cut out. So
alright, it's gonna look basically as good as it can get.
And then there's going to be a score multiplier in the score giver. So instead of just sitting there and giving points, if you want to add a score multiplier to that, you can.
And you can even change at what frequency it upgrades, which is
and
awesome.
Then there's going to be a detect unspawned players mode. So if you want to have a cinematic go off, but you know it's going to be a multiplayer level, you can have it wait, and so as soon as everyone spawns, then the cinematic goes instead of going and people messing it all up. And wow, my notes just flipped. There's going to be a grab sensor, and I guess it's going to be the same grab sensor as is already in the game,
but it's a move.
It's a move grab sensor. So you're going to be able to have like a regular grab sensor, and then if you want to be able to grab it with Sackboy or the move, you can tweak that option either way. And then there's going to be the material tweak saying can be grabbed by Sackboy / can be grabbed, and then you're going to have the move tweak options in there. Additionally, then there's going to be an in-game store overhaul. So instead of anyway, there's just going to be a lot of modifications to the store, clean things up, make it easier to go through the packs and the list of things in each pack. And then finally, there are going to be 17 new music sequencer instruments to help out with all those musically talented people.
Awesome. I'm excited.
So yeah, that's the move pack in detail. That'll be coming later this summer, probably at the end of the summer, probably August, early September.
We said end of this month, next month. We were off, sorry, but
Yeah, at the time that we filmed, we didn't have a date, so we were giving a
guesstimation.
Now we know it's more of the end of this summer, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Obviously, we're going to bring you the latest as possible. There is a beta going on right now, but obviously most of it is NDA, so shh. And yeah, so that would be the move pack. Some of the stuff I can see is going to be updated in more of a patch. Like, I can't see you necessarily having to pay for this pack.
Yeah, the story, store update.
Yeah, some of this stuff is going to be more of like an update kind of stuff. So some of it may be coming in like a free update, a patch, and then the other move tools are actually going to be paid. But either way, you're going to get a lot of awesome stuff. So definitely be on the lookout for that towards the end of this summer.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be brilliant. So let's see, what else do we have? St. Louis meetup. Yes, that's going to be going on from July 29th through the 31st. You can RSVP on lbpcentral.com. And let's see, what else is going on there? It's just going to be a big jam session, getting a bunch of cool people together, gaming with Little Big Planet all weekend. And
if we can make it out there, we're going to live stream as much as we possibly can of it. So it's going to be really cool.
It'll be hard to get all this gear through TSA, but hopefully that'll happen. So I think that's all we have for you guys this week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next Friday. Be sure to check out our episodes in the PlayStation Home Community Theater. And that's all we have. Goodbye.
Bye.